Welcome to Alyvix Server. This video tutorial shows you how you can use Alyvix Server together with Alyvix and a monitoring program to visualize the user-centric performance of your applications and services, such as SalesForce. The visualization supported by Alyvix Server can help you explore trends over time, like whether your applications are taking longer each day to run than the week before, to support you in deciding whether you need to increase your hardware resources, to see the effects after changing your hardware, or even if you can free up current virtual resources to save money. To see how Alyvix Server can help you, we'll use it to schedule an existing Alyvix test case to monitor a SalesForce Cloud Panoramic view, so that it runs every 5 minutes. This test case checks on the Sales Hub module of SalesForce's cloud-based Lightning application. By integrating Alyvix Server with a monitoring system, you'll also be able to set warning and critical thresholds that can automatically trigger notifications if your SalesForce connection becomes too slow or it goes down. Hi, I'm Charles, technical writer and video tutorial lead with Alyvix Server. Alyvix Server schedules your test cases and automatically manages the multiple window sessions they run in. As each test case runs, Alyvix Server collects performance measurements in an open API and provides reports with screen captures at critical points which can serve as proof of application stability. Alyvix Server's workflow panel gives you fine-grained control and real-time status information separately for each session. So let's take a look at how you can use Alyvix Server to quickly gauge the performance of your networked applications. In the control panel, a session status light turns red when one of its test cases starts to run, and then turns green again when that test case completes. Once a session's waiting period is over, Alyvix Server will rerun its assigned test cases. You can configure when, in which session, and in what order a session's test cases will run. So let's see how to configure our new Alyvix SalesForce test case in Alyvix Server. We start on the settings page where global parameters are defined. Once you've put the test case file in that directory, it can be used by any of the sessions listed here. Now let's switch to the test cases page where we tell Alyvix the file name and optionally pass each test case some arguments, such as a URL or an ID to search. That way we can reuse an existing test case just by adding a new row where we specify the arguments and give it a unique name. Next, we'll tell Alyvix Server to save all screenshots, but compress them to save space. Finally, we press the plus button to add this to the list of available test cases. Now we're ready to have Alyvix Server schedule our new SalesForce test case. So we switch to the Workflows tab, where we see that the user number 4 session is stopped and has no test cases assigned to it. We assign it our new test case by clicking on the box in the correct row, then press its play button on the far left side. When it begins to run, its traffic light will change from green to red. The next step is to configure your monitoring system to accept performance data from Alyvix Server. It will then store incoming measurements and give you tools to explore it visually. On the Alyvix Server host, you should see a separate graph for each point in the test case you asked Alyvix to measure. The visualization software will typically allow you to see the data with time on the x-axis and let you zoom in to a certain time range. In this example, each measure from Alyvix has a unique graph. Here you can see how long the login step took, how long it took to load the main SalesForce interface, and how long the entire test case ran. Taken together, these graphs show which critical points are behaving correctly. So how does Alyvix Server communicate all this data to monitoring systems? The default output is a JSON structure that's regularly published to an endpoint using Server's Measurements API, available via a URL-based query. This JSON structure contains an array of measurement points, one for each step marked as Measure in Alyvix. In fact, these are the same steps we saw listed in the monitoring system graphs earlier. Each measurement point contains a timestamp, information about the host and test case as a whole, the name of the individual step, the actual and threshold measurement values, and intermediate results from processing the step. In particular, the step name and transaction performance field in milliseconds is used by the monitoring system to create the graphs, while the warning and critical thresholds are typically used to generate notifications. Alyvix Server also produces reports in HTML that are available from the same endpoint. The report list shows at a glance which test cases succeeded and which failed. Clicking on any line in the list will take you to the full report, which includes detailed information about the test case overall and about each step tagged for measurement in Alyvix. Reports are kept for the amount of time specified in the retention policy that can be configured on the global settings page. If the option in the session configuration is selected, then the steps will include the screen grab taken either at the moment the step matched or else when the timeout was exceeded. Failed steps are easy to find as they are highlighted in red. If the timeout was exceeded, as in this example, the screen grab will show the visual state of the application at that moment, and the exit result will show fail. So that's your introduction to configuring Alyvix Server to run test cases like our SalesForce example from a prior video. Alyvix Server runs multiple Alyvix robots, lets you visualize the resulting timing data, and displays results with visual proof of each transaction. Alyvix Server helps you keep tabs on multiple Alyvix robots by managing your RDP sessions, scheduling and launching your test cases, providing a RESTful API for configurations and reporting results, and delivering human-readable reports that certify your application's performance. Thanks for watching this Alyvix video tutorial. Be sure to check out the Alyvix website, blog, and user guide at these links. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell to be notified when we post new videos. We also read all the comments you post below.